always wondered what makes a toilet or sink flow in opposite directions in the northern and southern hemisphere? What about the different rotations of cyclones and hurricanes? Well, that is due to something known as the Coriolis force, or the Coriolis Effect. The Coriolis Effect is an environmental force that causes water and air to curve as they move across the surface of the Earth. It is an apparent force caused by the spherical shape of the planet, which rotates on a central axis. The Earth is widest at the equator, where it travels at a speed of 1700 km per hour, and thinnest at the poles, where it travels at 0 km per hour, decreasing in rotational velocity at each point of latitude. Because of this, objects that move across the Earth's surface are deflected instead of moving in a straight line that they were intended to move. This deflection is strongest at the poles and weakest or absolute zero at the equator. That is because the poles take a shorter amount of time to get back to the original position. The direction of deflection is different in both hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere, if someone tried to throw a Christmas letter, for example, from the equator to Santa at the North Pole, the letter would be deflected to the right instead of staying straight. In the southern hemisphere, if also thrown from the equator to the pole, the letter would deflect to the left and still not get to Santa. Deflection also occurs when an object is moving from east to west in both hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere, a moving object is deflected to the right when thrown east or west. In the southern hemisphere, an object would be deflected to the left. The Coriolis effect is influenced by a centripetal and centrifugal force. A centripetal force is created by the force of gravity, keeping things on the Earth's surface. Centrifugal force is created by the circular motion or the rotation of the Earth, and acts against gravity. Because of this, water would be thought to accumulate at the equator, but is prevented by gravitational pressure. In terms of weather, the Coriolis effect creates geostrophic winds, which is a balance between it and a horizontal pressure gradient. This is affected by the differences in temperature, and with that creates areas of low and high pressure. When a hurricane forms in the northern hemisphere, the air will move to an area of low pressure and move to the right, with the centre of the hurricane rotating counterclockwise. In the southern hemisphere, the wind will instead move to the left and the centre rotates clockwise. Cyclones do not form on the equator due to weak deflection. Coriolis also affects the ocean's water. It rotates standing waves in the ocean basin and helps create coastally trapped waves, causing upwelling and downwelling. In the southern hemisphere, with northern winds, upwelling will occur on the eastern coast of a basin, and downwelling will occur on a western boundary. In the northern hemisphere, with northern winds, downwelling will occur on the eastern coast, and upwelling will occur on the west coast. This all occurs due to the rotation of the planet and to balance out the forces affecting it. Lastly, a fun fact. Do you remember the comment about opposite rotations of water in toilets and sinks? Well, that's not even true! Toilets and sinks are too small to accurately show the Coriolis force in effect, and the shape and angle at which the water entered the toilets and sinks can affect the direction of its rotation. Coriolis is still real though, don't worry. Hope you enjoyed the video! May the Coriolis force be with you.